Hello, everyone, and welcome to Snap Take. This is Glazer of Snap Judgments, the official podcast of Marvel Snap Zone, and we've got four great decks for you. I know today was supposed to be a bundle guide, but that's still coming. It's recorded, it's ready to go. It's just going to be a little bit before I'm able to get that out. It'll have a giant bundle review, but we're going to kick this off with Salty's Agamotto. Who? This is an incredible top meta deck that you really should be giving a try. A lot of people I know don't have Agamotto, and they're like, how do I play this deck? How do I play into this meta without Agamotto? Well, Salty was able to get to the top four with this deck that looks for all the world like the Agamotto Season Pass deck, except it just doesn't bother with the 5, 10, and the spells, right? It says instead, I've got more than enough power, and I'll make up for that lack of extra power that Images of Icon and so on give me with a bit of extra consistency, and thus the list is able to be incredibly successful, incredibly powerful. So Salty sent me this overnight. He climbed from the top 20 to number 4 in one session with this list. We've seen other players, Raku in particular, with a similar Agamotto free list that looks similar to this, really succeed. Although, once again, please, for the love of God, buy the season pass. Zabu, Kate Bishop, Iron Patriot, Sam Wilson, Galacta, Gwenpool. That's 6 season pass cards in this deck, or former season pass cards in this deck, even without Agamotto. Like, the season passes are just the best value in the game, which we will go over yet again when we do the bundle guide. The only thing you really need for this list is Galacta, although the list obviously gets weaker if you're missing a lot of these other cards. Gwenpool can be Captain Marvel. Gorgon, Kate, Iron Patriot, Sam. We're looking Lizard, Quake, Cable, Mirage. Red Guardian, Rock and Groot, Mobius, Negasonic, Gladiator, Nocturne. Pick your good threes. This should all be simple. The thing is, if you don't have Galacta and Gwenpool, you're really short power. You do need to very much see one of these two cards in order to win. And if you're looking, by the way, for that Ms. Marvel list that was in the thumbnail, give it, I don't know, 2 minutes. The thumbnail deck is always the second deck of the video. All right, so turn by turn. This is again rank 4. Turn 1, you want Zabu. If your 4s are in deck, Zabu is very often going to be a snap condition. That doesn't mean you have to snap immediately on Zabu. You can wait to draw a little bit, make sure locations aren't going to screw you, see what your opponent's doing, but it means I'm probably snapping around turn 2, turn 3 if I've got Zabu and really good targets. Turn 2 is Iron Patriot or Gorgon, and they're green because they're semi-snap conditions. They are sort of snap conditions, as I have an itch, excuse me. They are sort of snap conditions. Iron Patriot is a snap if you get the right card and your opponent and you're able to win that lane. That's very easily a snap. You can even bluff snap that. Sometimes good players will very often run if they don't have the perfect hand to just be like, oh, gotta go. It also lets you know that if they stay, they do think they have a very good hand, and now you need to be on the defensive looking for their snap or considering running for 4 unless you really are going off. Gorgon is a snap condition basically against Arishem and Thanos. It's very good against Agamotto decks too, but against Arishem and Thanos, if you can look, you can just look at the number of cards in their deck and see that they're playing those. You can snap on Gorgon. Sometimes they're going to have Mobius and Mobius. I do believe Mobius is because of Gorgon's existence or requirement in those lists, and your Gorgon snap is going to be for naught. But when they don't, you've basically won the game, so you should definitely be snapping to steal those extra cubes. Those cards are generally better than Sam, which is generally better than Kate. You can move Kate up the list if you don't have a card to play on turn 3 that you really like, because Kate will give you a 1-drop to play with it too. Turn 3, Galactic and Gwenpool are snaps. Early Galactic and Gwenpool just generate so much power that you should really strongly be considering snapping. Rocket and Groot or a 2+1 are fine. Juggernaut is only if you absolutely need the Iron Patriot win. If you don't have another follow-up for your Iron Patriot and you got like an Goliath that you really want to be a 2/8 or something like that, feel free to Juggernaut. Turn 4, Galacta remains a snap. Galacta is better than Gwenpool as a general rule because sometimes Gwenpool hits things you don't really want to play, while Galacta guarantees you to hit basically what you want in this list as long as you play smart. So Galacta snap over Gwenpool. Turn 5 is either the other of Galactic and Gwenpool, or you can play your first control card. This is another good time to 4+1 to Enchantress off something important, to Shang something big that they've left lying around, stuff like that. Turn 6 ideally is a Juggernaut and Control card for this list. If you play a Juggernaut Control card, you usually win Juggernaut Red Guardian, and if Zabu hits them, Juggernaut and Shang or Enchantress, you should usually be able to win the game, especially because, again, you have that Galacta buff hopefully going on to one of those cards. You can also drop an Iron Patriot card with Juggernaut, etc. This list is awesome, and you should give it a try. Top 4, no Agamotto, let's frickin' go. Before we get to the next list we're going to talk about, which is the thumbnail list, I'm going to ask you to hit that sub button if you're willing. We bring you the best decks before anyone else exclusively. We're the only ones right now that have that salty deck. It was directly DM'd to me by the player who hit rank 4. So if you want top decks that no one else has, if you want the best Marvel Snap coverage from the most angles in the game, please hit that sub button as we try to hit 25,000 subs in 2025. We just crossed 19,000, so thank you all very much. We're also going to be announcing a huge giveaway, not just this video, but also later this video. So make sure you stay tuned for yet another huge giveaway. We are giving away an Agamotto this week. However, all you have to do is sub, like, and comment. I'll tell you what comment to leave later this video. When I ask you to leave that comment, I'm also going to tell you about the second giveaway. All right, McDonaldino hit rank 4. McDonaldino is one of our old friends. He was a member. He is a member of our Discord, participates in our tournaments, etc., etc. He has hit rank 4. He is currently sitting at rank 5 because his he works nights and the day started, so he went to bed and fell a rank to Salty, in fact, who climbed over him in rank 4. But this one is I mean, it's like a list from last December, right? Like the only what's the newest card? I mean, Salmon Iron Patriot and Gorgon are new, I guess, but like none of them are terribly important. This is a Ms. Marvel list through and through. This is an old school Ms. Marvel list, and it absolutely rocks. Ms. Marvel started to come back. Our friend Rorem brought her back in a Loki deck that I've got like a 70 something percent win rate with. It was in Friday's video. If you're curious about it, it's deck 1 of Friday's video. But like Ms. Marvel seems to be back. I don't know why, but all of a sudden she's just putting up massive power. There's not enough junk and other things to really mess with her, and you get her out early, and she's just a 415. That's more than Galacta. That's more than Gwenpool. So you can find McDonaldino streaming this. You can actually watch his climb on the VOD at twitch.tv/JDMcDonaldino. This deck needs Ms. Marvel, Mobius, and Sam. Let's go quickly and just go over why. So Ms. Marvel is obviously the big power outside of Doom here. You're running Ms. Marvel. It's fundamentally replacing Doombot in this style of list, although I think we might have a Doombot list for you tomorrow. So Ms. Marvel is there. Sam helps you make sure that you get the Ms. Marvel buff without having to overcommit or do anything silly. You only have 2 1-drops in Hydra Bob and Sam. Oh no, Sam is a 0 now, so you don't even have to worry about it. Hydra Bob is not going to get in your way unless squirrels show up or raptors show up. So that's really, really nice, or the opponent does something. So that's really, really nice in making sure that your Ms. Marvel goes off. But Sam does help you because it's a 0, which means it can always help you get that buff, assuming you play it in the right lane. And Mobius is really important because you're running Sandman, and you want to be able to do whatever the hell you want at the end of the game. And the whole point of Sandman is to really mess with what your opponent wants to do. Hydra Bob here can be Nebula. Nebula helps control where your opponent plays in really interesting and powerful ways for this type of list. Um, Gorgon and Iron Patriot, we're thinking Quake, Cable, Mirage. Quake is actually really a good shout here, I think, because Quake's power is to sort of switch locations so that if you need to get to that middle location with Ms. Marvel, you can play in whatever side where you can and then flip a location so that Ms. Marvel can now go in the middle and give you that extra power. And then Makari can be Wasp. Makari is basically extra just free power, and you're fine playing other free power. Although obviously be careful with Wasp with your Iron Patriot shield. Let's go card by card. So Hydra Bob is a 1/4. It's the only one in the game, therefore it doesn't get Ms. Marvel's way. It's the best way to get stats without any extra work. It also is movable stats, which can help you win. You've got quite a few ways to win movable stat locations. Next up, we have Gorgon. Gorgon, Mobius, and Sandman are sort of this combo in this list. Their general goal, the goal of the 3 of those cards, is to make it harder for your opponent to play cards. While you are not really affected, Sandman does not affect you if you play Mobius. If Gorgon, then Sandman, plus you have Mobius, their generated cards will have +2. All their cards will have +1, and your cards will cost exactly what they used to, which is incredibly strong. Iron Patriot and Sam Wilson are just 2 of the very best cards in the game, and a 1 Iron Patriot lane gives you a way to steal games. It gives you a snap condition, as we've discussed over and over again on the channel, and Sam Wilson is not only just a 2/7 if played on curve, 2/8 with the shield, which is great power, but it also helps you trigger Ms. Marvel. Mobius, again, helps with Sandman, so it can be used offensively here, but it's also really great defensively at stopping opposing nonsense. There's a decent amount of Mockingbird Sasquatch around. We'll have one of those decks for you within the next day or 2. So there's a decent amount of Mockingbird Sasquatch around. There's a solid amount of negative around. Mobius gives you a way to snap those opponents. Rocket and Groot is just the best 3 for like a Ms. Marvel deck. It's really good for winning the Sam Wilson lane, but it's also really great because you can move it into a Ms. Marvel relevant spot. Makari is free power. It can also, again, be free power that triggers Ms. Marvel, which is pretty damn nice. Shang is this deck doesn't go that tall. It goes tall, but not that tall. And Shang says if your opponent's trying to go taller than you, no, they're not. At least if they're using big power instead of ongoing to do so, you're weak to ongoing. Captain Marvel, again, big power. Captain Marvel does know how to read Ms. Marvel, so she will move to get that buff, which means she can play as a 10 power card, which is really, really nice. Ms. Marvel is again the key card here. What you're trying to do is fundamentally say, I've got 15 power for my turn 4 play, and it's really hard to predict where else that power is going to go because of cards like Captain Marvel, Shang, Makari, Iron Patriot, et cetera, Hydra Bob, Rocket Groot. So it's hard for your opponent to calculate, as Ms. Marvel just gives you a good, strong baseline to start with. Doom does the same thing, along with Ms. Marvel, Doom, Sam, Hydra Bob, Rocket Groot, Makari. Captain Marvel giving you a lot of ways to get into tough to reach locations. And then Sandman is just saying, if your opponent wants to do things at the end of the game, no, they don't. They get to play one card, and you get to play multiple cards if you want it, or you can just drop a Doom, and then your one card being spread out is probably better than their one card in one location. So this is currently rank 5, again, rank 4 peak. Turn 1 Bob, turn 2 Iron Patriot or Gorgon. They are snap conditions, as we have discussed previously. Gorgon against Thanos and Arishem, and sometimes Agamotto. Iron Patriot when it gives you the right card, and you can win. Sam is the other turn 2 play, totally fine, and sometimes Sam can be a priority if there's specific locations or things to do with it. Turn 3, you want Rocket Groot or Mobius mid. Those are your general goals. Mobius can be a snap condition as well when against the right opponent, but it's hard to know that by turn 3. If you do know that, if they dropped a Ravonna, you can feel free to snap on a Mobius, for example. Rocket Groot is very, very good. Rocket Groot tends to be your Iron Patriot follow-up as a rule. Turn 4, Ms. Marvel, and Ms. Marvel can, once again, you should know if your opponent's running things that will mess you up. If they are not, Ms. Marvel is a snap. That's better than Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel is, so usually in Marvel Snap, how this works, the reason Captain Marvel is so good, I feel like people don't understand this, so I'm going to try and explain it. But the reason Captain Marvel is so good is that there's usually one lane you're winning pretty much, and one lane that your opponent is winning pretty much. The last lane is where the game is won or lost, where you're really competing, and Captain Marvel says, well, if one of those is close, I'll just take care of that, which also makes it really good with cards like Galacta or Ms. Marvel, because now you get like a double buff from it. Sandman, or you can play one of your 4 drops, or you can finally drop Shang-Chi on turn 5. You need to know what your opponent's playing. If they're just going to drop a Goliath, then Sandman is semi-useless. You're probably better off dropping a Captain Marvel or a Ms. Marvel at that point, and then holding your Sandman and not using it. If you know that there's a lane with a bunch of big stuff and you want to play Doom, you're going to have to Shang here. Then turn 6, Doom, Shang, or a Marvel, Captain or Ms. depends. Um, Feel free to be careful with that. Also, do your best to make sure Rocket Groot and Mobius go mid, because you want to be able to move Rocket Groot where necessary, but also you want to make sure that as best you can that they don't get eaten, that they don't eat your Ms. Marvel buff with Makari. That's the surest way to lose that combination. That's the list. It's really good. Welcome back to Ms. Marvel, formerly one of the best cards in the game, who seems to be rising up the ranks again. She's like a zombie Ms. Marvel. Welcome back to this card. I'm very excited to see it back. I really, really do enjoy Ms. Marvel metas. Hey, we stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/PulseGlaze. We'll be streaming tomorrow from about 10:30 a.m. Eastern to about 7 p.m. Eastern. So if you're interested, please check it out. We're going to do a crap ton of giveaways. We are giving away guaranteed a Sage bundle, the $50 bundle. We're giving away at least 5 season passes, and odds are we're giving away way more season passes than that. We're giving away up to 10. I think we're actually giving away up to like 12 or 13 season passes. If you already have the season pass, you can get either the Crossbones or just a gold pass. We've got sub goals that include 2 freaking more Sage bundles that we're almost certainly going to hit. We almost always hit them. We've got Scream. We've got, if we hit our big goal, which is 200 subs, which who knows, but like it's a Twitch front page, so maybe. We've got a Scream Cannonball giveaway. We'll be casting Snap Judgments League games with Perry Manilow. We've got some surprise guest stars. We've got viewer battles for extra giveaways. We're going to do a Series 4 and 5 tier list, so if you're looking for how to spend your tokens, what kind of cards to get, we're doing a Series 4 and 5 tier list. I'm going to play opponents. There's a ton of stuff. Make sure you're there. This is celebrating 2 years of Snap Judgments. We have past our 2-year anniversary of never missing a day of this YouTube channel. So make sure you are there for it. I hope to see you there. And our season pass question is very simply, are you going to make it? Cool. Are you going to make it? If not, that's fine. You can still enter to win the season pass, but I'm hoping to get a few more of you who watch this video over to there for tomorrow, for at least part of it, because we're streaming for so long. All right, next up we have Ika's Evo. Ika made a high evolutionary list. If you've been here a while, you know Ika is one of our most featured deck builders. He makes a million decks. Some of them even work. Now, when his decks break, they tend to break the meta. This is right now the most popular, prominent, and successful high evolutionary list. I play it one card off. I usually cut Nebula and run Red Hulk because I want the extra chance at a big guy. Sometimes I look, I really, really, really want to, but Shang is better right now. I really, really, really want to run Thunderbolt in this list, but I can't really fit that either. So you can find Ika at twitch.tv/Ika_MTS. Again, he's brilliant. Go check him out. This deck needs Bruce and Evo. Yes, you need Bruce. The reason we're featuring this partially, even though like I know a lot of you didn't go get Bruce, is I kept getting messages. I did a question where I asked what cards everyone got from Sanctum, and I was like, I got Bruce Banner. Well, if you got Bruce Banner, we got the deck for you. Luna can be Hope here, Kara can be Armor, and I fit Rolkin over Nebula. You can also put it in over Shang if you don't like Shang. This is a 62% win rate with a really solid cube rate. So turn one is usually Sunspot or Misty. You can play Nebula. Nebula usually means I'm going to Cyclops that lane because my opponent's going to try and play there, and then Cyclops can really punish them for that. Works the same way as Rock and Groot, basically. Cyclops and Rock and Groot are actually reasonably similar cards in a lot of ways. Turn two, you want Bruce or one. Turn three, Luna over Bruce over Cyclops over Magic over Kara, and you go Luna first because that extra energy is so important. And if you play Luna, now you'll have an extra energy for most of the rest of the game, which really benefits your Cyclops, which really benefits your Hulk, which is very nice. Um, really benefits your Bruce. You can also, if you just didn't play anything else, play Bruce here, just fine, right? Play Bruce, see if you can turn him. This is your first turn of having a chance to get him anyway. So if you went like Sunspot into Misty into Bruce, into Cyclops, into Magic, into Pass, into She-Hulk Hulk. It's a lot of power. So turn four, Luna is better than Cyclops, is better than your other threes. Turn five is your last Magic chance. You can pass if you have Luna at this point, so you can go She-Hulk and Hulk. You can also end up going She-Hulk and Shang, stuff like that. Works totally fine. This list is really cool. Bruce is pretty solid right now. Not gonna lie. 33% is a lot. I'm struggling to find any home or use for him outside of High Evo, but he does seem quite good in this home. If you'd like to see gameplay from all these decks and more, please check out the stream team. Tomorrow is Sunday. Today is Saturday. Go check out Father Newman. Check out O Behaved. Next up, Crazy's got his very cringe deck. This is a version of that Thursday deck we featured a couple weeks ago that I still have in my snap. This one instead runs 2099, and then it runs Iron Patriot and Sam Wilson and Rocket Groot over Vulture and some other stuff, but it's still a pretty damn cool list. You can find Crazy streaming at twitch.tv/crazy_IM. This deck needs both Red Wing and Madam Web. Aranya can be Iron Web. Iron Patriot, Sam Wilson, Rock and Groot. We're looking Luna. I really like Luna in this list. Vulture, Quake, Red Guardian. Any good 2 or 3, really. Turn 5, we want Red Hulk. Red Hulk can be Giganto. This is a top win rate deck. This one is one of Crazy's highest win rate decks right now. It's also got a high win rate in other people's hands. It's very good, very consistent. Turn 1, you want Aranya. Turn 2, Madam Web over Iron Patriot over Sam. We've discussed 15 times the Iron Patriot snap condition situation. That's fine. Madam Web can be a snap condition if you already have the movers. You can also snap Madam Web to threaten that you are playing move if you go Aranya into Madam Web. People often run if they don't have Red Guardian. Turn 3, Red Wing with a move if you're playing Red Wing on Madam Web. If you're playing Red Wing, if you've got Aranya. If you're playing Red Wing, you've got Ghost Spider in hand, that's fine. As long as your hand is almost entirely big things. You can also play Rocket Groot or 2. Turn 4, you generally want Dracula, and Dracula is a snap condition. You get away with Dracula being safe from Red Guardian a lot here because Madam Web is in the deck. Or you can drop a 3. Red Wing and Ghost Spider here really works well fairly often. Turn 5 is play what you can out. This is your last chance to move Red Wing or play Dracula. You can also play or move 2099. Like you can just Aranya 2099 immediately. You can play it on Madam Web, as the case may be. Turn 6, play a 6, leave a 6 in hand. So ideally you're playing Red Hulk or Magneto, and Infinite is the last card left. The reason I like Luna so much is because with Luna, I can also play Ghost Spider that turn. So if I played Red Wing or Symbiote on 5, I could play Ghost Spider on 6 with my Hulk, Magneto, or Infinite, which I think does mean that I like Luna in this list a little bit more than Gracie seems to. But I'm very, very high on Luna right now. Don't tell Ratko. Cool. I love this kind of list. I think Red Wing's way more fun than I thought it would be. I don't think it's one of the best cards, but again, if you have Red Wing, whether through Sanctum or through just Snap, this is a list that you can hopefully try. If you don't have it on yet, Madam Web, reminder that sometime in the next month, month and a half, they are coming in spotlights together, so you can just grab them together, and then you not only have a move deck if you have Red Wing, you also have access to this one. Some quick questions today. RatQuest, what location? I'm bad at playing around. So I forget that there's 7 turns with Limbo all the freaking time, like constantly all the time. I just don't accurately do that math. Um, and I know this seems silly, but like the +1 locations often get me where like I forget to count that if they have one more card than me or one less card than me, that's an extra 2 power instead of an extra 1 power, and that often gets me. I know that's silly, but that's true. Models ask my financial advice for teenagers through people in their 30s, and I'm not especially good with money. I'm not going to pretend I am. Um, I believe people should be paid for work as a general rule. I do my best to try and abide by that. I do my best to try and live by that. If you're doing work, you should get paid. You can choose to volunteer, but generally speaking, people should be paid for work they do. Here's one of the things: don't generally work for free. You can work for cheap early with clear lines of promotion. Um, I want to say that you should probably save, given how what the economy looks like and what the world looks like right now, but I constantly live worried that I can't take the money that I make with me when I'm gone. So I try and balance out saving and living a really good, healthy, fun life early on. And that is fundamentally my early financial advice. This isn't the area that I have the most expertise as literally a humanities person, but make enough so that you can hopefully, if you can make enough so that you can hopefully save, and also like make sure that you're not only saving and living so frugally that if you died, it's wasted. Certain tiers of support on our Patreon come with honor thanks. Check out patreon.com/snapjudgments if you're interested. Thank you to Patron of the Month, Absolute Shannon, the great Abigail Geeson, Mandatory Burnout, It Regardless, LAB, Always Kind. I haven't heard from you in LA. Hopefully you're doing well. Ink, the Graphite Fan. I am Frostman, short R, Hota, Nevarete, Thinking Poker of the Thinking Poker podcast, Prime Ryan of the Prime Mind app, Ryan Burke, Ryan Wood underscore YT. He just hit 200 subs on YouTube. Go support. Caretix Lee, the congrats, Ryan. Caretix Lee, the king of questions. Koire, the king of rudeness. Kazushi, kind and does not belong with Koire. Archangel 3K, should split those two. Black Dahlia, Pyrofrost, and the Goat Seeker, some of our wonderful alliance leaders. Hallowed, Nightmare, Only Fox, Synth, Ratnick, Dirty, Casual, Mr. Kerfuffle, Cables, Ginger Prime, Philip Brackvich, Haplo, Kenny Loggins of the Danger Zone, The Notorious Bizza, Black Jeebus 23, notorious for different reasons, Extra Fee and Skippy G, Rhyming Friends. What's up, Jess? Jessica Gamble in the house, Mr. Slush Death, winner of Snap Judgments League Season 1, The Kangaroo Bros, Bro, The Great Kazoo, Werewolf, Kev, C, Hoda, Luna, Ludacris, Glam, Colonel Foreman, Sup Foreman, Rob Silverman, Midrow Pride, M. Holland, David Moo Wingfield, Stephen, Brian Coffin, Tristan H. Martin, Jason B, Mr. Craig Sterry, Matt V, that's the end of Real Name Town, Ren Wrench, who didn't tell me if they're a Ren fan, Corwin, John Q, and Jim McHugh, it's Cute Down, Gestout, Eighth Sage, One Big Man, Milkman for Reals, Cactus Jack, BG, Quid Pro Joe, Snap Decisions Joe. Please check out the Snap Decisions podcast, y'all. Models Mod Supreme, my favorite Osborne Green Goblin, Unibot, Flan 56, The Fuzzy Lump, Spectrumix, Hoot, Aku, Atakularis, what's up, Aku, Matt H, DJ, Mikey Hijinks, No Frickin' Flex, Nick, the Greek Geek, Zodrex, the King of Canada, 10 Man Falcon, Thor Newman, Jonesy, Two Ties, Three Loudeyes, the Pirate King Tucker, and of course, Gunny T, where the T stands for front page. See you at it, and I'll catch you then. Much love and support. Peace.